model kit review is of the Enzo Ferrari, and it is a 1/24 scale model by Revell, and this is supposed to be the Ferrari that was designed like a Formula 1 car. You can see the lines, and here's the dimensions, colors needed, picture the finished model. It certainly looks like a very nice model. Some other parts there, or pictures there of the engine bay and finished model. So let's have a look inside at our different parts here. We do have a lot of parts that are in this kit. We'll start off over here. So here's our body, and it's fairly nicely molded. Good level of detail, no flashing, no mold lines. We do have some ejector pin sites though that'll need to get sanded down. Here are our tires. These are hard vinyl, looks like, but nicely molded. We have some mesh, little screen there. We have some tail lights and our glass, all nicely molded. Let's have a look at the rest of these sprues here. So here is our chassis, and you can see here's the rear diffuser. The strakes allow the air to channel through the back and reduces turbulence. Looks like this is the inside of our doors and some other body parts. Here is the back of the seats, and here are the fronts of the seats. Here's our nose, bumper, our cockpit with the front suspension, and this is the rear body. Here we have our wheels and some engine parts, as well as our drive shafts there, and headlights, lots of parts there. Here's our chrome parts, and it's actually reasonably well painted. We have our wheel wells, and looks like air intakes here, and suspension parts. Here we have our engine parts here with the transaxle. Some more parts for the engine. Here's our dashboard. Exhaust parts here, and lots of extra little parts here for the engines and exhausts. Our pedal box. Molding quality is reasonably good. Not too many mold lines, almost none on most of these sprues. Here we have some more transmission parts, engine parts. Here's our suspension parts down here. We've got our disc brakes, radiators. Here's our steering rack, and here's our steering wheel. Looks like we might have a racing version or racing option there. Radiator parts, valve covers, all very detailed. We do have some decals here, nicely printed, and some details about the Enzo Ferrari, and our colors needed to build the engine. Lots of parts here for the engine, lots of detail. The engine is mounted and put onto the chassis. The remaining parts of the chassis are assembled, including the firewall. Engine cover goes on, and we build a dashboard, and we have two different options there for steering. Looks like, and our cockpit tub is then we've put together. Build the front suspension, including radiator parts, steering, tie rods. Then we put our wheels on. More body parts are put on. We have the screens that are glued in. We mount the inside of the door panel, and then glass and other body parts, including bumpers, all those screen parts that then need to be cut out, and it's all then mounted onto the chassis. Here's the painting and decal guide. So all in all, a very nicely detailed model, lots of parts, and well molded.